Howdy guys, let's talk about that high pitch. More and more phone calls coming in and hey Paul, I got this out. Hey guys, if you have a high pitch, like a metal high pitch, like a metal on metal high pitch, don't swear on your mother that your turbo's going south and your rear end. Guys, if it's a high pitch noise coming from up front, under exhaust brake or heavy throttle, and then it goes to no throttle, or should I say minor throttle, you got a gasket leaking. You got a manifold gasket leaking, 80%, 20%. It's your turbo gasket, 2 manifold leaking, but it's under there. So take a good old flashlight and look at cylinder 1 and cylinder 6. Those two are going to be the first ones to let loose. So once again, a high pitch squeal, it all starts off under exhaust brake, and then under throttle, and then under all the throttle, right? Heavy throttle at first, but then it's under any throttle anytime you're building this. So it is 99% your manifold gaskets are starting to leak. Take a good light, and when you shine it in there, look in front or behind the manifold, right? Front or behind cylinder 1 and 6. You're looking for soot. You're looking for black smoke. That's your dead giveaway that that's what's going out. How can you avoid this? There's primarily on a large scale, almost a guarantee, one of two things has triggered this. First is your intercooler system. Yes. Don't tell me your boost gauge is showing good boost. We're way before that. These systems are so maxed out, you'll show all the boost in the world, meaning you're showing regular boost, but you're losing 5 to 10% boost through your intercooler system. And this, under heavy load, right? Most of you guys are towing with your trucks. It will bring up the temperatures in the combustion chamber, and that will, with those higher temps, will take out your manifold. You don't believe me? Don't. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to share my experience. So your intercooler system, your boost system, is leaking. So those are pretty simple tests. Any diesel shop could conduct one of those. If they're a diesel shop, they know what a boost test is, and they can do one for you. It usually takes half an hour to 45 minutes to do one, and it will take care of that. A second one we see often is people are impatient. People don't have the patience to cool off their engines more than it is to warm them up. So as you came to a stop and you're towing and your temps are finally down, guys, your temps are down because the heat got out of the liquid. Now you want the liquid to pull the heat out of the metal. So that's what you need to do there. Hopefully that makes sense to you. When you come to a stop, especially when you're towing, let it idle. Just let it push that heat out. Let the cooling, in 99% of the time, high idle the darn thing. Hot or cold. I mean, it could be ice cold like today. If I was towing, a decent amount, shoot, if you tow anything, I can't imagine you towing a little jet ski behind a 1-ton, but even if you're hauling a 300-pound trailer behind you, just let it idle for a little bit. So what you're looking for is you're looking for your temps to come down on your dash gauge. I mean, your gauges here and then some. So the fact that your temperatures came down on your dash means the heat was pulled out of the liquid, which is good. It's important. But now allow that liquid to pull the heat out of your metal. You're going to say, well, Paul, that fluid flows through the head and all the crevices. You understand that? Yes. But in an extreme case, that's not enough time. So those turbo, those turbo bearings, all those parts, they're so hot. You got to give it time. Typically, what does it look like in the summer? Well, I shouldn't say summer. Fall and winter, let's just put it this way, ambient temperatures anywhere from 50 to 80, well, I shouldn't say 80. I say 40 to about 60 degrees, right? 40 to 60 degrees, it equates to about a 10-minute idle. When it's really cold outside, you know, usually the temps get brought down pretty quick. You know, a minute or two later at an idle, it drops it down, and you just end up idling a few more minutes, and you're good there. You know, dead smack of winter, like what is it right now? 32 degrees. Let's say I was hauling a container. I'd let this thing idle for 5 minutes, and I would shut it down. 5 minutes, and anything 30 degrees or colder usually does the trick for what we tow, right? We tow a lot of, well, sorry, my friend. We haul a lot of goosenecks, an average gooseneck. Now, in the summer, let's say the ambient temperature, it seems like 70 and 80. Past that, well, I should say 80 on the supercharged vehicles, but 70. Past 70, it's a hard time to, it starts becoming a little tougher to cool them off. So 70, north of 70, you got to be careful. So you got to allow your vehicle to come down in temp. So north of 70, it could easily be a 20-30 minute idle to properly cool it off. And this isn't hypothetical, because my fleet was racking on miles a lot quicker than I was on my personal rig, on my OG Limited. You know, I saw trucks last 70,000 miles, and I've seen trucks last 500,000 miles. You guys need to realize that my OG Limited never blew a head gasket. Never blew a head gasket. I got tired of waiting for that manifold to go, right? Average manifold in my fleet lasted about 250 to 300,000. It would get, you know, manifold gaskets, and the manifold would be warped by then, that we would toss it. So, with that being said, you can do it, and it's not hypothetical, because I was seeing what the fleet was going through. My own fleet, you could tell a person 100 times, if they don't hear you, they don't hear you. My own trucks were blowing these things. So what I'm getting at, if you do it right, you could keep that manifold. But to keep that manifold, you need your intercooler system and top notch, and you need to idle your truck and cool it off. Like this truck, it don't need no cooling, right? I was just punting my tail around, and at 176, that coolant is barely up to temp, right? This truck's been used for the last 3 hours. That oil temp is right there on the bottom of the thermostat. And the transmission's 203. If the temps were like this, and I just got off the interstate, I would still idle it for a minute and then shut it off. Gives the turbo a chance to wound down a little bit. Guys, I know I'm overreacting, but given the price tag of repair, it's well worth your time. What I'm saying, this cool down thing is far beyond just the manifold. The cool down will significantly affect your turbo, no matter what golden oil you put in that engine. And believe me, oil makes a big difference on turbo life and bearings. But I mean, no matter what gold plated oil you put in that engine, if you don't let that turbo cool off, it's cooking your oil. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap this one up. As always, may the Lord bless you. May y'all mighty fine day. Just like it's important to warm up your engine before you head on out, 100 Fahrenheit, it's far more neglected, and it's even more important to cool it off. All right, I'm done. As always, may the Lord bless you, and may you all have a mighty fine day. Ciao.